What's happening, guys? We're back and we're not in the shop today. Alright guys, I'm taking a bit of a break from fabrication this week. It's Christmas Eve tomorrow, so I figured I'd post this a day early because I don't want you guys watching me on Christmas Eve. I want you to be able to hanging out with your family. But we're gonna just have a quick wrap up, talk a little bit about what we did in 2020 and maybe touch on 2021. So 2020 was a pretty rough year for just about everybody. COVID, lockdown, shutdowns, working from home. It was a tough year. I went out to the shop here 2 days ago and I was looking at the car and I was a little bit bummed out about our progress. We weren't as far along as I had hoped. This car started as a 2-year project 3 years ago, and we probably still have another 2 years left in it. So I was a little bit bummed out. So I went back and I looked at what we actually did in 2020, tried to narrow in on kind of where we failed. And we actually did a pile of work in 2020. If you go back a year from now, it's almost a bare chassis. Like, it's sitting up on the build table. It's got almost nothing mounted to it. Nothing's plumbed. All the little detail things aren't there. So once I looked at that, I came back and I looked in the shop again and I went, oh, this car actually made a lot of progress in 2020. We did a pile of plumbing work on the engine. We did the intercooler and radiator mount. We got Trigger Industries to cut out that really cool aluminum bracket. We got those guys mounted. We built a bead roller and built our own charge tubes, our own radiator tubes. We plumbed in a bit of the fuel system. We got a little bit more to go, but it's coming. Fuel system, electrical, we got started on that absolute spaghetti mess. We got a lot more work to do on electrical, but we got started at least. So we got a lot done on the plumbing side. We also got a lot done on the paneling side, I guess. Things that make it actually look like a car, not just a bunch of scaffolding. We modified the hood, so we have now a separate hood and nose cone, which I think is going to work a lot better than the one piece that I had initially planned. So we got the nose cone mounted, we got a firewall built, we did the dashboard, that carbon fiber dashboard. It turned out okay. We might take another shot at the dashboard. I kept the mold just in case, but we got a dashboard in there. And then we did all those interior panels, those aluminum panels, got those mounted. So now the car is starting to actually look like a car. We do still need to put side panels on it. We do still need to panel in the tunnel area, and we need to put a floor in it, but it's coming along. So it's starting to look a little bit more like a real car and not a ladder. What else did we do? Driver controls. So at the start of the year, I think we had the brake pedals mounted. We did not have the brake pedals mounted. So we did that this year. So we mounted the brake pedals, we made a gas pedal the other week, we mounted the steering column, we built that whole steering column assembly. So now we actually have a steering wheel. It's not welded to the column yet, but I'm working on it. But we have steering wheel all the way down to that Mazda Miata rack. So all we gotta do is weld that hub on, and then theoretically we could steer this thing around. We did the e-brake, we got that mounted in the right spot. So the driver controls kind of area has been huge. And then like the interior in general, we mounted that heater. That's a big piece of kit that we had to find some room for, and I think we kind of came up with a pretty good system there. We did the pedal box enclosure and everything. So now when I go out and look at the car, it's sitting on all 4 wheels. It's up on those stands that we built. We did those shocks, those fake shocks that hold the car up. So now it's starting to look like a real car. So after looking through all those videos, I'm a little bit more proud of what we did in 2020. It was actually a good year for us. So what are we gonna do in 2021? We had a couple of goals in 2020. My goals were running and registered. We obviously didn't get to either one of those. So we're gonna move those into 2021. I'm gonna work to get the thing registered. So that's gonna involve getting the Government of Alberta inspector out here to take a look at the car, make sure nothing's stolen on it, and then assigning us a VIN and punching that VIN number into the car. Once that's done, the car is not street legal. We still have to go through some inspection processes, but at least it's a car then. Right now, it's a part storage rack, basically. So we'll do that, get it registered. Running is gonna involve some wiring, actually getting the engine to fire up, finishing up some plumbing, and then seeing if that stock ECU that we have is gonna work. It's kind of dodgy. That ECU is like 20 years old and from Japan. So we'll give it a whirl though. We'll try it. It's free. We have it. If it doesn't work, we might go to a standalone ECU. And then the car still won't move. We still need to do a clutch. We still need to do a drive shaft and whatnot, but those are kind of secondary to getting the thing running. So running and registered. And then the one that I'm gonna add to the 2021 list is stopping. So we have rear brakes done essentially. We have the calipers mounted and rebuilt. We have the e-brake system all rebuilt and ready to go, but nothing's plumbed. So I need to learn how to plumb a brake system. I need to learn how to build hard lines. We're gonna do hard brake lines all the way to the back. And then we need to do some modification to the e-brake on the back. The cable routing just won't work the way that it's set up right now, but we might have to put in some bends or something. We'll figure that out. That's another ball of wax to dig into. And then the front brakes on this car right now are essentially non-existent. The RX-8 that I pulled the front end from had mismatched brake discs. It was missing one of the caliper brackets. It had already been scavenged, and those cars were really hard to find in the junkyard. So we might have to buy a new set of brakes for that thing and then plumb those in. So those are our 2021 goals: running, registered, and stopping. That's all that we have this week, you guys. I just wanted to touch base, wish you guys all a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for the support over 2020, and I look forward to 2021. I'm out of here.